All right, thank you for staying with us. The conversation will continue, and we've been having Dr. Paul Alaje. Hope you can hear us now, sir.
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning once again, sir.
Oh, all right, sir. Thank you for staying with us. You are going to land on your thoughts about Nigerians' excitement for the Naira crude thing and the real meaning that it could have on the economy. Please go ahead.
Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, the Naira crude sales appears to be very good. And the government said that anybody that wants to buy PMS, directly referring to Dangote Refinery, it could pay the Naira. The question now is of what? Because body light, bread, crude are sold in the dollar. Government is saying we want to reduce pressure for demand on the Naira so that that can come down, so that the demand for the dollar can come down. Okay, so we understand that. Can that really help bring down the price of PMS? The answer to me will be very, very marginally. Some places are currently selling PMS at 850, some are selling at 900, some are selling at 1,200. What I see in all of these conversations is you might see in the short term, and I mean between now and December, some slight reduction. But is this reduction sustainable? My answer is a capital no. It's not sustainable. And you need to follow me very carefully.
Yes.
You may not agree with my prediction, but when my prediction starts hurting you, you will agree with them. First, we are paying Naira of the dollar. Anytime we devalue the Naira, PMS price will still go up. Whether you pay Naira for it or you pay anything for it, once we devalue, the price will sporadically go up because the input is we are paying Naira equivalent of the dollar. So it still has dollar connected. True. The price of crude may go up by next month globally. No thanks to the Israel-Iran war. Iran have said if America supports Israel in the ongoing war, they may ensure that the whole Europe don't have access to energy. I'm talking about petroleum products.
Yeah.
And they should remember that winter is coming. And I saw that in a publication by an Iranian media. So, also seen that if the crisis persists, it might affect the Middle East. The Middle East supplies reasonable quantity of global account for reasonable quantity of global oil supply around the world. So if that region goes into turmoil, remember that Russia, Ukraine are also the same, are currently fighting a war. So that's a major challenge the world may experience, which of course has little or which Nigeria has no little or no influence on. So if Nigeria cannot influence the price, and the price of crude around the world goes to about $100, government will still charge equivalent in Naira from Dangote Refinery. So Dangote, for people to now think that because we are paying Naira, the price will go down, I doubt. For price to go down, anyways, there are things that must be done.
Right.
What government has done is one of them, but it's not limited to this one. I have said it on your platform and several other platforms in the country. What we must do. The first thing is peg the Naira to the dollar. Peg it. United Arab Emirates has pegged its own currency, the rams, to the dollar for years. Saudi Arabia has pegged for years, and you can verify this information online. Don't believe what I'm telling you. Check online.
Yeah.
Now, people will say, oh, those countries, they have oil. Don't we have oil too? Those countries are a bit transparent. What is stopping us from being transparent as a nation? So are we saying that our people should suffer because of our intransparency in governance? Because that is the meaning to me. Another person will say, oh, we need to float because central bank does not have any money. I said, then we are not ready.
Yeah.
Why did I say we are not ready? 2020 So on daily basis, 700,000 barrels of crude is stolen, equivalent, not my figure, according to National Bureau of Statistics. We are supposed to be doing between 2.1 to 2.5 barrels. The highest we did in the first quarter of the year was 1.4 million barrels. What happened to 700? An average of 700,000 barrels of crude on daily basis. If you sell at $80, we're talking of over $20 billion. Add $20 billion to $38 billion we have in our what do we call now, in our foreign reserve. That will be enough to guarantee our 1 year import bill. When you can guarantee your 1 year import bill, you can fix your currency. So why can't we peg our currency?
All right.
The crude joint theft will continue. We have accepted that in our mind we have been defeated and there is nothing we can do. But of course, flotation certainly for a developing and a consuming nation, it has implication. The implication is continuous inflation, continuous hunger, privation, and poverty.
Dr. Alaje, if I'm brought in here, for the purpose of education, you talk about pegging our currency, pegging the Naira, against the dollar. You said UAE and some other countries have done it, but Nigerians are used to the term floating, and it doesn't appear like to be working. What exactly do you mean by pegging the Naira against the dollar?
Okay, I'll tell you. When we consider some basket of commodity, and we consider the same basket of commodity in these countries, we notice that Naira should be around 1,000 to 1,100. That's what Naira should be around. Now, we have some Nigerians who have lost weight. Why do nation's currency gets devalued most of the time? When people lose faith in their own currency, and you cannot blame them absolutely. When politicians lose faith in the currency of the country they are ruling over, they will collect FAC and take that money, change it to the dollars. Money that is shared as revenue to develop their state. They will collect it and change it to the dollars for the next election. So please, I want us to start an experiment. Government, according to you, have started crude oil sale on the 1st of October. Ordinarily, exchange rate should be going down. Ordinarily. But according to Central Bank Governor, not me, he said the bank noticed with caution that FAC collection might be interacting, and I'm paraphrasing now, might be sending signal, might be influencing exchange rates. What does that mean? When money is shared at FAC, the next day or week, we see that the price of dollar go up. That means we are making demand for dollar. That's what he said. That's the interpretation. That's the relationship. The price is going up, not that the price is coming down. The price is going up. So are we now going to say that it's just the refinery that's our issue? I tell you, 40%, not less than 40% of the current hike in price is a result of people who don't need the dollar and they are keeping it. They are not traveling. They are not doing business abroad. They are not sending money abroad. They are not paying school fees. They are not paying medical bills. They don't have anything they have abroad, apart from proceeds of corruption. And they keep this money, and at home, everybody is suffering. So when I say that we should peg, I'm saying that there should be a fixed rate of Naira to the dollar. Now, if you don't fix, some individuals who have their money as Naira already believe that Naira will be devalued. They would therefore want to quickly go and buy the dollar, hoping that when Naira devalued, they will sell it again and collect their money. That is deliberate action to work against your own country, which is wrong. That is why we feel that it will affect everybody. Now, this is what we have suggested. Peg the Naira. A lot of persons say, oh, we don't have enough money. I already mentioned to you where the monies are. The money we are spending to buy yachts, the money we are spending to buy SUVs, because all those things are bought in the dollar. Keep that money in the reserve. You don't need to spend money buying jets, buying yachts, buying SUVs, and on wasteful spending, or take that money from FARC to be keeping in different state lodges. It's not necessary.
So
we can peg the Naira.
Okay. Dr. Alaje, since the CBN governor, as you have mentioned, has access to this kind of intel that, some state governors make use of the FAC allocation, convert it into dollar for a later time, what is stopping, the CBN and the economic team of Mr. President from doing what you have just said now, taking this particular route, pegging the Naira to the dollar, so we do not have fluctuation of the Naira to the dollar?
Well, I don't know. I don't know, and I'm currently not the CBN governor. So I really don't know why they have their own decision. And to some persons who have spoken with me, they feel that if they do that, they cannot defend it. And I say, well, your job as a nation is to defend your nation. President Trump, when he was in office, you can castigate him for many things, but he's a man who loves his country, and he will tell you America first. There's so many things to castigate Trump for, but for him, it's America first. To me, it's Nigeria first. And that's why I want our policymakers, even though in Nigeria, do we really have thorough policymakers or people who have background in something, but what they have their background on is still keeping their back on the ground. Because they have never done a thorough study. They've never shown themselves proof of the knowledge they claim they have. What am I saying in essence? Having a background in economics and having it as first degree, I don't think it's too elementary for people like that to be kept in critical economic position, to be making deep economic policy for over 200 million people. I think it's a big risk we are taking.
Who exactly are you talking about?
I think it's too big a risk.
Who exactly?
For me, those in key modality, I don't see. You see, small mind discuss people. I'm discussing the policy of government, because if you know it, it will show. If you know it, it will show. You cannot say that you want to leave the country volatile unless forces of demand and supply abdicate price. It cannot work. What determines exchange rate is faith. What determines exchange rates anywhere in the world is faith. Do we believe? Do we think that this price worth this? And the rest of the world will keep convincing you that your currency is too strong. And the more they convince you that your currency is strong, instead of the rest of the world to tell us that you don't have enough reserve, your gold, don't allow foreigners to cut away with your gold in private jets. Let your gold be sold through official means. One of the countries in the Middle East, I will not give you the name, was attributed to be the second exporter of gold in the world. But do you know that they have not discovered one gold on their soil? Where is the gold coming from? Zimbabwe. Go to Zimbabwe is the shadow of itself. So Africans should have the strongest currency in the world, but corruption, the wealth in Africa is in bank accounts of our leaders, is in their tummy, is in their real estates.
Let me take you up quickly on this. There are reports out there that the NNPCL has quit a middleman role with the Dangote Refinery, which will actually give access to the marketers to go to Dangote directly and buy products, for themselves to sell. How do you think this will impact the economy, and how do you think this will impact the final price the consumer will have to pay to get a liter of petrol?
So, there have been a lot of secrecy, a lot of shading between Dangote Refinery and NNPCL in the past month. So we really were not sure as to what NNPCL is buying or not. But what I can tell you is that we are not very sure if there is a smooth relationship between the largest refinery and the largest oil company, NNPCL, in Nigeria. Now that the marketers want to go, I expect that forces of demand and supply will adjudicate price. That sounds good, not so that forces of demand and supply will now know what is the fair price. In life, nothing is fair. Nothing is fair. You see, again, I have problem with those who just read BSc economics because I was there. In economic school, they will teach you as though once you understand force of demand and supply, you can defend anything. I just want them to go and take their time, go and enroll again and learn. Let me tell you, in life or in economics, nothing is fair. Do you know that if somebody open a filling station in Osogbo today and there is scarcity everywhere, and the person starts selling at 2,000 naira, do you know people will still buy?
Are you still
Hello?
with us? Yes, we can hear you.
If they sell PMS, if they sell PMS at 2,000 naira today, somebody will buy. What will happen is that those buying, if they are barbers, they will start barbing Mr. Daniel's head for 5,000 naira. Mr. Daniel will now tell his employer that he needs more money. Advert rate will go up. Inflation will kick in. So when we say that, let's first, that argument was destroyed at the last Great Depression by Maynard Keynes. When the classical school feels that the choice of demand and supply to allocate price, we need visible hands to sometimes show the way to the invisible hands. It's not all the time that you allow force of demand and supply to adjudicate price. So that the marketers are going to him does not necessarily mean that the price will be certain way. Listen, do you know that Dangote will now control all of us in terms of pricing? Whatever he sells is what we will buy. What happened to Dangote Refinery? That NNPCL told us will come mainstream in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. This year alone, how many times have you said in your station that Dangote Refinery will come mainstream? I told you the last time, you told me it will come mainstream in September. And I said, let's wait till September. My sister, September has passed. Where is the refinery? Where is the oil? Where is the PMS? You see, something is fundamentally wrong with us. We like to clap with one hand and expect sound to come out. Dangote Refinery itself does not make force of demand supply to work in Nigeria. Because you cannot have one person and say that person that is a monopoly and the commodity is an essential commodity, is a commodity of life, it's like air that we breathe. What can you do without energy?
So, Dr. Alaje,
you're expecting for us to we are just playing. Like they say it on the street in Osogbo, they play. Right. We are just playing.
Because we have to run, Doctor. There have been speculations that the fuel price may hit 1,300, 1,350 when the NNPCL removes itself as the middleman. How possible is this? Would we have a case of speculations as we add with the Naira dollar thing?
No, I see NNPC, I see PMS go to 1,400. Really? And I will tell you why. And I'm not saying today or tomorrow. I'm saying it between December and March.
Why?
One, exchange rate flotation. Exchange rate flotation. It does not favor us. Our going up. So when you keep floating, your currency gets depreciated. So even without the price going in that direction, it will go up. Two, there is no competition with Dangote. That's another one. When the marketer sees that people can still buy it at 1,000 tomorrow, increase it by 500. I mean by 50 naira, increase it again by 100 naira. By March, you know that with this price, people are still queuing up. The reason why government removed subsidy was that queue we end. There's still queue. There is still queue. On the streets of Lagos and Abuja, there is still queue. There are queues. So I said to you that what we saw from our research between December and January, we from the numbers, except things change, and the approach the PMS price may increase to 1,300, 1,400. So what we need to do is not to have one source of supply or import dependence, We need to go back to those refineries and make them work.
All right. Quickly, Doctor, we learned there are some refineries that are in the offing. There is one 11,000 barrels per day capacity Alaje Refinery in Rivers State, a 20,000 capacity Clear Gold Refinery in Delta State, and 12,000 capacity Ezekiel in Bayelsa State. If and when those refineries come on board, do you see them facing some of these bottlenecks as well? Or you think maybe it will enhance,
11,000.
Yeah.
How many thousand did you call it, sir?
We have one 11,000 Alaje Refinery in River State, another 20,000.
11,000 what? Barrels of liters.
Barrels per day, yeah, capacity.
We need to know if it's barrels per day.
Barrels
sir,
per day.
One truck is carrying 33,000. Sir, one truck is carrying 33,000. 45,000.
So
But it's a mismatch.
Yeah. So you said
it's a mismatch.
Those numbers are negligible. You think it will enhance what
They are
Dangote is trying to do?
negligible. We are talking of hundreds of thousands, millions, hundreds of thousands of liters.
All right, quickly,
That's what we are talking about.
Yeah, let me just put it there. This will be our final question because of time. One of these days, we'd like to have you a full stretch and, ceteris paribus from our end as well. Many persons are saying Dangote Refinery, the company, as well, the entity, have enjoyed the goodwill of the people. People are trying to support them whenever they're having challenges with, institutions and the rest of them. Don't you think they owe it to Nigerians as well to come clean with the price? Because when NNPCL came up with the 950 Naira per liter thing in Lagos, Dangote Refinery issued a statement and said that's not true. And I just asked them, so what is true? Don't you think they owe it to Nigerians as well to say this is not the time to be opaque? This is how much we are selling.
Businessmen always protect their own interests, like politicians. Dangote Refinery has a lot of interest and stake in the Nigerian projects and the oil and gas. Continuous existence of business is more important to the business person than wanting to come out clean. The only way we can do that is to force Dangote to publish his price. And how? In the current arrangement is going to be true competition. Get other refinery work, bring the price down. Dangote will be forced to bring this price. There was a time the price of cement went up. The competitor mentioned how much he would sell. Dangote was forced to mention how much their own cement is.
Yeah.
That is how it works.
But the same,
activism.
Dr. Alaje, the same man has been said, people should stop tagging him as a monopolist. It's not a monopolist, that other persons that want to do the same business should come and do the same business.
Nobody can tag as a monopolist, and that is why I said again, have knowledge of economics is not sufficient. When you are the sole operator or sole person selling something, it is called monopoly. When you are two, it is called a duopoly. When you are three, you have gone beyond monopoly and duopoly. It becomes oligopoly. Our government should encourage more people so that the influence of one monopoly or the duopoly or the oligopoly will reduce. So whether Dangote like it or not, it's one of those polies. It's either monopoly, duopoly, or oligopoly. Thank you so very much.
All right, moving
and
away.
NNPCL will also influence because at the time was a monopoly. It was the single buyer.
Yeah.
So single buyer can buy and influence the price.
All right.
That is why it's also dangerous. Then we have a duopoly.
All right.
So whatever it is, it's either of the way. Thank you so much.
Right. Moving away from all these polies, we have been talking with a financial expert and a senior economist, Dr. Paul Alaje. Thank you for staying with us and bearing your minds on these national issues. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Quite an interesting way to end is there. The war of wars of the police and the police, monopoly, duopoly, oligopolies. The only poly that Nigeria understand now is to have a price reduction that will be consistent, not just price reduction, but accessibility and affordability of the same product is what Nigerians, are looking for at this time. We must go, Evelyn.
Yes, we have to go, and that's where we hit the brakes for Morning Spring this morning on Western Spring Television. We hope that you have been able to learn one or two things about the issue at hand when it comes to fuel, petrol. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei. We'll make a return tomorrow for another interesting time on the show. Until then, have yourself a good and productive day. Ensure to stay around for Spring Trends coming right after this broadcast.
All right, smart thing from all the police. Make sure you're in the right poli. By the way, that is giving me a positive vibe this morning. Femi Ojo is man. A big shout out to the production team. We'll be back here tomorrow. God willing. Stay strong. Stay happy. Bye.